the final topic of the day, we look at some of the top headlines going on in the football world. Now, if y'all got any questions, please ask them. Keep asking them. I'm gonna answer them all, as this is a rather shorter topic. But I'm just gonna discuss some of the top headlines. Enrique, obviously, it's documented his move to Real Madrid happening. He was in tears for his last game at Palmeiras. And this summer, when he goes to Brazil and plays the Copa America, is really going to be the start of his big boy career. Now playing in, the higher levels of football, and then he goes into a Real Madrid team where he definitely has a chance to make an immediate impact. It's going to be the start of a brilliant career, barring injuries, and I'm very, very interested to see how his career goes. Edison Cavani, he has retired from Uruguay. I remember yesterday or a day before, when I was talking about Uruguay and their chances, how and I was talking about Darwin Nunez needing to step up for this Uruguayan team, talking about how Uruguay, despite them being a smaller nation, they've always developed, they've always brought up these few young stars, just flat out stars, and these stars have been huge for them in international tournaments. Diego Forlan at the 2010 World Cup, Luis Suarez at the 2014 World Cup, a mixture of Luis Suarez and Edison Cavani, who had a brilliant 2018 World Cup, and 2022 World Cup, they get eliminated in the group stage, and they don't have that star. Darwin Nunez was supposed to be that. That's what I thought. Darwin Nunez, he was the guy that can make that kind of impact, and he disappointed, but I think Edison Cavani, he has been that star for Uruguay. Him and Luis Suarez, the fact that they came from the same city is quite remarkable. Just fantastic footballer, second in goals, right behind Luis Suarez. Despite despite Uruguay having the best striker in the world for a very long time in Luis Suarez, just the ability of Cavani, his work rate, still forced him to put in the starting 11, forced the Uruguayan manager Oscar Tabares to put him in the starting 11, and he was just a very dominant player for Uruguay. What he's able to accomplish, he was part of that 2011 team that won Copa America. So hats off to Edison Cavani and a brilliant international career. There was rumors that he might have been involved in the setup for this upcoming Copa America, but he decides his time is up for his Uruguayan career. So salute to him, and he's had a brilliant career for Uruguay. Sancho, he talks about he had in an interview, prepping for this Champions League final, describes some of the backlash that he faced from the Euro final, from missing that penalty, and now he has not been fully recovered from the racist abuse that he suffered after missing the penalty. He said this in an interview that was published on Thursday. This is something that's in my head sometimes. I don't think I fully recovered yet on that part, but I'm trying my best to get over that. The backlash we got from it wasn't nice. Being in London, not in a million years, I would have thought we would have received that, especially representing our country. It's a memory I try to block, but I can't act like it didn't happen. So it is one of those memories that you try to get past it and be positive. Now he's going to be heading back to Wembley for the Champions League final on Saturday. And that's where it happened, the Euros final, by the way, and Wembley. He's going to be back at Wembley for the Champions League final for Borussia Dortmund when they take on Real Madrid. He admitted that it's surreal to be playing the Champions League after the suffering that he went through at Manchester United. The back and forth with him and Ten Hag, the fact that he has been in practicing with the youth team and all that. Just a remarkable journey for Jadon Sancho, and I feel like he has an opportunity to really, really get his career right back on the right track. Not that he hasn't already, but this will really, really help him. I discussed this. I discussed this a little bit, but not enough in a few days. Olympiacos, they actually on Wednesday they defeated Fiorentina in extra time to win the Champions League, in the Conference League, the European Conference League, and they're the first Greek club to ever done that. I think it's a remarkable accomplishment for them, but I think it's also a remarkable accomplishment for Jose Mendilibar, who's done a lot with little, and he's a guy that comes in and wins you trophies. He's done it for Seville. He's done it for Olympiacos. And I think he's a brilliant manager. And yes, he's 63 years old, so he's not really going to be up there for like some of these top clubs that are looking for a manager. But I still think he's brilliant. I see a comment saying, seems like there's so many amazing players in UEFA Premier League, La Liga, and Copa America. Is this MLS something that needs to grow? Well, Copa America is different. That's international football. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not an MLS fan either. I happen to watch the major football, the ones that matter, in my opinion. I happen to think MLS is a weaker standard of football, which is just reality. But I do believe MLS has a lot to do with the progression of U.S. soccer as a whole, with the soccer culture in America. And I think MLS will really take that next level after the World Cup being hosted in 2026. When the World Cup hosted in 1994 by America, that triggered the start of MLS and really, grew soccer in the sport, really exponentially. So I feel like having the World Cup now in 2026, with the way soccer is already viewed up to now, and, the modern day of technology and social media and all that, I think it's going to take World Cup soccer to a much bigger level in America. And I think that will give a chance for MLS to grow. Now, I think MLS definitely has its weak points when it comes to, having salary cap. That doesn't exist with these European teams. Not ones like the MLS. When you look at promotion relegation, the fact that they don't have promotion relegation, I think that adds to the entertainment factor of, these European leagues compared to MLS, with the fact that MLS, they don't like the fact that, not everything is a guarantee. Like even, in MLS, if you're weaker, you happen to get rewarded with a draft pick. That's something that's really, the opposite in European football culture, and the level of desperation amongst European football just makes it much more appealing. Also, the talent also has a lot to do with it, but also the fact that the level of desperation, if you get relegated, your town loses jobs. The city loses jobs. The economy of the city could collapse. It's a huge impact that it has, and the pressure that the players are under is huge, and it makes it more entertaining. You don't see none of that in MLS. Let's just be honest. You have a system of, a playoff system, a system very close to American sports, and I think there's, I think MLS does have its way to go if it really wants to be able to compete with European teams. And, it might not even be able to. I don't think it's something that could happen within the near future. I think it's a huge climb that MLS is going to have to make to reach those sort of levels. Lucas Paquetá, he has remained with the Brazil Copa America squad despite his charges with betting. He's been charged. It's been rumored for a while that charges could be impending. Probably the reason why Lucas Paquetá is not a City player right now. But he still can be at the Copa America despite the betting charges. They've just been charges. No sanctions have been, he hasn't been punished yet. And the verdict are going to be coming. It's going to be coming very, very soon. And you just go from the viewpoint that we'll just have to see how it goes. That's all that I have for y'all. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.